It's Sunday afternoon, and I didn't put out a video this morning because I didn't get it done in time. It's the video on making the Dexter box. I'm supposed to be editing it right now, actually. But I don't know, increasingly lately, I need to be in the mood to edit, especially something bigger like that. I'm going to dive into it tomorrow. I'm using this being Sunday and traditionally a day of rest as an excuse to kind of slack off, even though I slacked off quite a bit yesterday too. What I did manage to do yesterday was get what I think will maybe a decent picture of it, which is difficult. People don't realize how much, like, it's easy enough to grab a still from the video and use that as a thumbnail. But increasingly, you're not going to get any views if you don't catch the people, like the viewer's eyes, and give them a reason to click on the video, because there's just so much content, right? Zooming past them. And some people subscribe to thousands of people. So it's a constant, and then they don't look at their subscriptions. They let YouTube pick out what they're going to be watching, so on their feed, so-called homepage, right? So I said before about the end wall. I think I got to be honest with you. I can't remember if I actually posted this video or not, because sometimes I'll come out here and I'll record a video and bring the stuff in to edit it, and I'll say to myself, that's not worth posting. So I can't recall if I actually said, I think I did. Okay, I think I did. I talked about putting workbenches on that end wall up here after I take the tool board down, after I take all the tools off the tool board and put it in the unit that I'm building for here, which will be my next project, that rolling toolbox idea that I had, okay? The reason why I made all those full extension drawer slides for that unit. Talking about the workbench along that wall, moving the drill press specifically up to that wall in the center, building storage around it, including a couple of workbenches on the sides. And in particular, I talked about drawers underneath and not having enough to put the drawers, like in the drawers. And then, stupidly, I forgot about that thing down there, that double-sided cabinet that I had up here, which was kind of a good idea. It had the show side, which you keep organized, and then it had the untidy side on the back. And then I took it from there and I moved it down there. So the back side of it is almost inaccessible. Like, I can move it out, but I got to move this. I'd have to move some stuff out of the way to get at it, to angle it out, right? So there's stuff in there that I need at some point in the future. I want to hold on to, but it's, out of sight, out of mind type thing. And then on the other side, it's just a big mess. It's just a complete, total mess on the other side of the cabinet over here, the show side. So that means that I'd be taking that unit apart. And people will be saying, well, you build this stuff, you take it apart, you build this stuff, you take it apart. But I mean, if you look around my shop, the stuff that I haven't taken apart is the stuff that's working for me. And you don't know if something's going to work for you unless you actually build it and try it. All right, it didn't cost me much to build the unit. I'm going to be able to recycle the majority of the material that went into it. The wheels, I actually need the wheels for the rolling, even though my version, like the one that I have here, is not going to be rolling. I would like to get a picture of it with wheels on it, and those are the wheels that I have. So I'd be taking the wheels off that to begin with, and to do that, I would have to take everything out of it, and I really don't have any place to put it. The biggest issue I have in this workshop is not like the tools that I have, because, okay, somebody said the other day about the tools that I have. I was talking about, stop complaining about the shop you don't have and the tools you don't have, saying I have a lot more tools now than when I started on YouTube. I don't have any more tools. I think the tool that I have now that I didn't have then, and I can't think of anything else, is jointer that I built 3 years ago. That's about it. Everything else I already had. You know, I haven't increased the number of tools I have here. I may have actually decreased the number of tools overall that I have because, you know, space is smaller, want to make the best use of it. I'm seeing drill press in the middle, a short section, a bench on that side, a short section over there on that side, drawers underneath both. The top will be used for, like, I'll have a vise on this side and a vise on that side. Probably the vices that are on this bench right now. And above some storage, you know, that I can use. I'm getting rid of the, how many years have I had that? 7? Yeah, more, 8, 9 years. I built that in my old house. I'm getting rid of the drill press cabinet. I'll probably give it away to someone. But it's not working for it. Well, it's working for me, but it's not maximizing the space that I have here. It's good for, I don't know. I've kind of changed my mind on that kind of thing. I'm more into the modular, make use of all the space type idea now, right? And that's what I employed down there when I redid that corner. That's what I did with my miter saw station before that. Made use of all that space. And that's what I want to do up at the end here. And, you know, basically the workbench is the same thing. It's not just a workbench, it's a tool board too, because all those drawers will act as a tool board. All the tools that are currently up there on that wall will be in this unit in individual drawers, laid out nice and neat, so that they'll be easy to get at. Now that I have all the pesky woodworking stuff out of the way, I want to talk about one other thing. And some people will see this as beating a dead horse, but I made that last video and still so many people couldn't grasp what I was saying there about 3D printing. I wasn't saying anything negative about 3D printing. That's not my view on 3D printing. I've got nothing against 3D printing. I've got nothing against CNC. I've got nothing against pocket screws, okay? I don't use pocket screws. I don't use CNC. Although I'm thinking about maybe in the future I would. I don't use 3D printing, although I'm thinking that maybe in the future I would. First of all, what I was saying in the original video is that the technology in 3D printing, I don't see it being there yet, what I'm talking about, okay? And the thing I was saying about the 3D printer is that I found a better comparison than almost anything else, and it's this right here, okay? What I have here is a sheet of paper, and it's actually the assembly step number 11 from my ultimate box joint jig plans that's printed out, okay? So this is done by a printer. I know how to draw this by hand using a pencil and a ruler and all that. But I use computer CAD program, SketchUp, and drew it in there. And then I sent it to the printer to print out. This is the best analogy that I can come up with. I didn't have to do this because the printer did it. That's not a negative. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm saying all the effort and, well, I mean, expertise in drawing are not needed by me because the printer has it. You understand? The printer has the ability to do this, so I don't have to have that ability. I don't need to be able to draw. I can do things in SketchUp, and I can send it to the printer to print it, and then I can send it out to you guys too when you buy the plan. You see what I mean? So I'm not saying anything negative about 3D printing. I'm saying that the 3D printer, very much like this printer, has the ability to make the part. And so that will take that ability away from you. It doesn't take it away from you. I mean, okay, I can, like I said, I can do all this drawing myself, right? It's just going to take a long time to do. and then I'll only have one sheet. And if I want to replicate it, like if I want to make 1,000 sheets, then I'd have a lot of work ahead of me, right, to hand draw each one of those. But no, the printer does that for me instead. Okay? I don't know any other way to explain it to people. Not being negative, not saying that there's no skills involved in producing something that a 3D printer will work with, because there is darn well skills involved in producing the stuff that's printed on this paper, I can tell you that. I had to learn SketchUp, I had to design the box joint jig, I had to debug it. There's a whole world of skill behind that. But the act of printing it is something that's a click of a button for me now. And so that's the analogy with the 3D printer.
Can I help you?
I've taken on a project,
How big?
almost more than I can handle, and I don't have a lot of time.
Maybe you need another hand or two. There's plenty of laborers out there.
I work alone.
Sounds like you need the right tool for the job.